and 2.5 meters on 25 years. The coffee beans, they start to growing on green color for all of them. But at the end they change to green by totally mine red.
Appreciate it.
Right now I don't have beans, it's out of season. But you can see only the coffee flowers. White one here, okay? Now, behind you, my friends, you can find Blue Mountain coffee. Small one here. The Blue Mountain, it's original from Jamaica. Famous around the world too. And expensive. You can find them only a few places around the world. This tree grows 1.5 meters, like that. But the beans from here, at the end they change. They're gonna be yellow, not red. The difference between both, if you see, for example, the size of the tree, the color of the beans at the end, and the taste. This coffee is not too strong, more soft. Also in Cuba, you can find Robusta coffee, the most strong than the other ones. Robusta, Aforena. Robusta coffee, less flavor, less taste, but more caffeine. From El Congo, Africa. But in Cuba, my friends, we plant Robusta coffee only in Santiago de Cuba, at east of the country. The Robusta coffee needs more highest in the mountain for grow well. Okay? The harvest season of coffee in Cuba, 3.5 months. September, October, November, and half December. We get the coffee from trees by hand, one by one. This,
Really?
Yeah.
The bean?
yeah, the bean, yes. Not it's the same whole the world because not all the beans get mature at the same time. We must to pick yellow ones or red
ones that are
and
mature.
left the green ones on trees.
Yeah.
Now, when we get the coffee from here, we put the coffee in a special kind of table to dry in the sun by 25, 30 days.
Turn around, babe.
Erica.
No. Okay. Okay, when we get the coffee from trees, we put the coffee in a special kind of table by 25, 30 days. After dry, we get the coffee and we put the coffee over here. Come on, please, follow.
That's because you're supposed to do it one by one. I made sure. I said, I heard her horse coming close to mine. I said, Lanice. I said, you make sure. She said, okay, you can just talk to the horse. She was like, I just don't know how to control it.
So he was holding your horse the whole time, walking?
After it took off me and bumped me in the air, I just go, right. And I was like, what do you want? I said, no, that's not
Okay, my friends. Now, the name of this here, we call it Felon.
Pilon.
Yes, pilon. It's a palm tree. But actually, it's more big. This is only a sample. Now, we put all the coffee dry from the table in the sun into the pilon, and we're gonna smash the coffee with this by 30, 35 minutes, more or less, by hand. It's more time because it's not too strong. If you do that too strong, you can damage the beans inside, okay? And here, we separate the coffee beans from the shell outside, more or less like this, but totally mine dry.
Right.
We do that inside the pilon, but totally mine dry, you see?
Is that the Blue Mountain?
No, Arabic. This is Arabic. Red one beans.
Oh, okay.
See?
I don't get it. It's dry when you do it?
Of course.
Oh, okay. That's just wet.
Yes. Now, after that, we put all inside the palm tree, inside the metallic container, and just gonna throw it to the wind. If it's dry, the wind get only the shields, and we get with the beans, because they are more heavy at the end.
Yeah.
The shields goes as a compost to our plantation again. The reason, Viñales,
Shells.
yes, Viñales International Park, all the region, and we cannot use here inside plantations any kinds of fertilized chemical products, pesticides or machines, all is organically by hand. Those beans goes again inside the metallic container on fire, only the fire, metal and beans, and one person turn around the beans by 45, 50 minutes for roast the beans, like this. Okay? Now, when the beans are roasted, we ground the coffee. The coffee powder at the end goes inside a filter of cotton like this. For example, we put inside a filter of cotton coffee powder from here, hot water, and we mix all by 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we want to have a great coffee to drink over here, and the coffee powder in all the process goes again as a compost to our plantation, like a small circle. We use all at the end again. Here, I have a sample of Arabic coffee made for us by hand. You can smell it. I'm gonna press the bottle.
I know. Let me think of Starbucks.
I thought it sounded like
Now, guys, you know all about coffee. I want to speak about rum
I love coffee.
and honey. Okay. Now, that's the honey from the region. Different too. In Cuba, you can find two different kinds of bee. We have the common bee in the whole world here. Black and yellow made the honey on the honey trees and sting. That bee came to Cuba from Spain at the beginning of the ships. The other one only live in Cuba as a country, but inside the country only in Viñales Valley, in whole Cuba and whole the world. Our bee is unique from here. It's more small than the common bee, totally mine black, but our bee doesn't sting. Okay?
Oh, don't say.
No, but
You said it's black?
black, totally mine black. They fly, but they live under the ground like an ant. That's the difference. Our bee dig half-meter on the ground. Under the ground, make like a big bag with a mix of dust and saliva from the same bee, and inside the bag, under the ground, they put the honey. We must to dig for take this honey. The people from the area, they must to training dogs to find the bee in the mountains, like dogs and truffles, because our species also is wild. We cannot domesticate them, the common bee. They live totally man-free in those mountains around us. The name of the bee, we call him bee from the earth. And the name of this honey, we call him honey from the earth. Different color, more dark than the common honey, but more liquid too. This honey doesn't crystallize, even if you put the honey in the freezer, but it will be liquid all the time, and has more medical properties. On this case, has more concentration of propoliside, a natural antibiotic with the honey. By the propoliside is more dark and more liquid too. On this region, by traditions of many years ago, the farmers used this honey for drink coffee, not sugar. Also, they put this honey on the cigars, and go smoke cigars. That's the honey behind the cigar, as a natural filter and as a natural seal. It's very good for asthma treatment, for example, mouth infections, all of them, throat infections. We use this honey as a medical treatment against ulcers and stomachache, and it's very good for heels and skin. One hive gives us between 5 and 8 liters of honey each 6 months. If you found this honey inside this valley or in another part of the country, it's only by medical reasons, because it's not too commercial than the common one. I'm gonna put some honey for you. You can taste it, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Give me all this, please.
I have a question.
Yeah. So,
What is
So we
the
need two of
Spanish
those.
name for the bee?
abeja de la tierra.
Abeja de la tierra.
You want two?
It
But
literally
some-
means like the bee of the
That's
grass.
up to
But
you.
some
However
people
you
call
feel.
him angel bee because that's the thing. Yes.
Okay, so
But the common name is bee from the earth.
but the honey isn't commercial.
This
Like
honey.
you're not gonna find it like
And we
in
can
the
take
city.
it back to
No,
Only
you can.
like at farms.
Yes, you can buy the honey, and you can take this honey out of Cuba too, but only from these places, not in the city. For example, if some people from Havana, for example, needs this honey for something, they must came here to find the honey. Okay, in Cuba you can find
That was some good honey.
2 different kinds of guavas. This is the common guava.
Damn.
Take your time. First time.
Thank you.
First time.
Let listen.
Take your time.
I should put it on my cigar.
Well, now in Cuba you can find 2 different kinds of guavas. This is the common guava in whole the world. Okay, could be yellow or green. Outside, pink or white inside the small seeds. Inside this valley grows other one. The other one only grows here, inside Viñales in whole Cuba, by the soil. In Viñales Valley we have a red soil with more iron. Also Viñales is a small valley inside the mountains, and we have a microclimate only here, better for other kinds of plants and animals from this valley. The name for the other guava, we call him Little Guava from Pinar, Guayabita del Pinar. Del Pinar, the region of the country, and little guava, the size of the fruit. This one, it's very, very tiny. This is the full size inside the bottle. and whole fruit too. You can see the difference between this one and that one. Red outside, white inside, and sweet. More sweet than the common guava. All the rums in Cuba came from the sugarcane alcohol distillation and the time inside the barrels. 1 month per 1 year for white rums, cocktails rums. More than 3 years old for dark ones rums. This is the unique rum in Cuba mix. Our rum, it's a mix among sugarcane alcohol, our special fruit from the valley, and honey. The rum is sweet but strong at the same time. That's because the people who created it tried to make wine. By accident, they get rum. A good accident at the end.
Right.
The name of the factory, we call him La Occidental. The region of the country is only one factory, very small, in whole Cuba, in Pinar del Rio. The factory was founded in 1892. It's the most oldest rum in whole Cuba. All this year, they are medals, national and international medals. This factory has only 25 workers. It's small. That rum is made by hand. Not so famous like the other ones. First, because in Cuba, we don't sell that rum in other part of the country. That rum is only from this valley. And because we cannot export it for sale out of Cuba like Cabra Club. Of course, if you buy a bottle, you can take the bottle with you. But we cannot export it because we don't have too much. The factory makes per year between 8 and 10,000 bottles. It's a real rum only for sale a few months inside this area, and after that we must wait 1 year more for getting back here again. The color of rum from the barrel of oak, taste and smell from the mix. Now, for made the rum, the factory put inside the barrel thousands of the small guavas, 60% of sugarcane alcohol, it's strong, 20% of honey, and they wait 5 years for get the rum. On the 5 years, small fruits inside the barrel get the 20% of all alcohol inside. At the end, the factory put 1 small fruit per bottle as a detail, and you can eat the guava during the bottle if you can. 40% alcohol has the rum. The taste a balance because it's sweet by the honey side, strong our Cuban rums, and it's more or less like a whiskey. The rum get the taste though. Now the whole bottle has 40% alcohol. Small fruit inside has 20. If you eat one of those guavas, it's like a half bottle of rum in one shot. You're gonna be totally mind drunk on less than 5 minutes. Okay? You can make a party with the fruit inside.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
There you go. Now I'm gonna give you a shot. We are 6, 7.